All right. Welcome. I think we still got a lot of people still jumping on, but we said we were going to start 7:30, so 7:31. Not too bad. For those of you that don't know, my name's Ray Johnson. I'm the Director of Coaching here at Valor. Off to my side here, it's Keith Blyer,
Hello.
Assistant DSC. We're going to kind of run this show tonight from our amazing Twitch channel. And we're going to give you as much information about the club as we can. Really try to share some information, answer a whole bunch of questions, I'm sure. And then at the end of this, we're going to have your coaches set up some breakout team meetings where you'll be able to ask any detailed questions about the team. So there's going to be a lot of information. We got about 40 slides we're going to try to knock out in 40 minutes.
But first, Twitch is for gamers, right, Ray?
Yeah,
all right.
That's me.
So not to date you too much,
mm-hmm.
Your favorite video game. What was your favorite video game growing up?
Ooh, favorite video game. Maybe Contra. That was a pretty good one. Yeah. So I was a little older one. And Mario Kart is one of my favorites still today. I got the Nintendo 64 ready to fire up right now.
So my boss is clearly younger than I am because mine was, and some dads are going to go, oh, yeah, I remember that one. Mine was Pitfall. That was on the PC. And then I was a Donkey Kong guy. So who knows what the kids are playing these days.
Right.
But this is not about video games.
We're not going to play any video games tonight.
Nope.
Okay. I think we're getting more people rolling in, so we're going to get started here. Like it says on the screen right up there, we will not be monitoring the chat or taking questions during this presentation. We'll give you some contacts throughout the slides and at the end for sure, and you can reach out there with questions. And like I said, your head coach will be setting up a team meeting maybe tonight, but probably Wednesday or Thursday, where you can really ask some questions about your particular team.
Yep.
So welcome to Valor. We're really excited for this year.
All right, slide number 1, the wonderful McIver.
We have Christy McIver in the background here pushing the buttons. So here we are. Valor Premier and Select Team Formation. You are part of the Valor Pride, which is what we like to say a lot of times, just like a pride of lions. That is us. You can see some, this is a picture from our tryouts up here, and you can see the amount of coaches we put in to make sure that we do a great job out there. So really excited. This was a great tryout season for us. All right. You are part of the Valor Pride. 22-23 will clearly be our biggest and best year yet. Boom. We have created 51 Premier and Select teams this year.
Wow.
This does not account for any of our junior academy that we're building right now. This is comprised of nearly 800 players in the Valor competitive programming, led by some of the most experienced and high licensed coaches in Washington, including these two guys. Supported by a professional group of administrators and classiest soccer parents in the area. We are all representing our pride at all times. And we say this jokingly, but really we do try to hold our parents and our sidelines to another level for youth sports. You've all seen the newscasts. You've all seen stuff that makes us cringe. We don't want to be on the news for any of that. So we really do try to hold each person accountable for their behavior on the field and on the sidelines. Here we go. This is our agenda tonight. We're going to try to whip through this stuff as quick as we can. I'm going to read a bunch of them. Then I'm going to let Keith, read a bunch of them. I'll jump back in. He'll jump back in. We're going to do a little tag team of this. So we got teams and coaches, Valor management, technical staff, our partners, the Valor way, what that means, the development and philosophy here, our club-wide principles and style of play, the Valor pathway, how to complete your registration if you haven't gotten through that yet, what it costs to play here, what kind of options we have, what the team fees are, and then a little bit of our financial aid, how we help out if we need to, volunteer hours and opportunities. And then we'll jump into our uniform and how to order that if you're new to Valor or if you need some replacements. Our playing time policy and some other policies inside Valor. the college placement program for our older kids. And then we'll go through some of the calendars for the Premier and Select and the tournaments. Everybody wants to know what tournaments we're going to try to do this year. So we're going to try to lay that out a little bit tonight. And then, like I said, you'll break out into your own team meetings at some point this week and get a little bit more detail. Boom. Here comes the first ones. This is the first year that we will have a full year of U8 competitive soccer. So for our U8s to U10s, these are teams that play a 7v7 format. You can see all the coaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boys teams playing 7v7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls teams playing 7v7. This is a great lineup with Jacqueline Rigtrup, Paul McElvaney, Greg Tesh, Dushan, Mark Bickham, and Greg Tesh again. We just filled this Premier White team, but we're just sorting out the coach right now, so we'll be happy to announce that probably in the next day or two. And then on the other side, you got Coach Gibb, Scott, Bailey Eller, Pedro Mion, and Jenna Moody. So we're very, very excited for this group. This is our 9-a-side teams. On the boys' side, we have Matt Wayman, Kelvin Meisen, Greg Tesh, Keith Blyer, Mark Ramey, and then our 2 oldest 9v9 select teams that we're working on getting coaches filled in there right now. Should hopefully be sorted out by the end of this week, we hope. On the girls' side, Kelvin Meisen again, Bailey Eller, Keith Blyer, Catherine Schmidt, and new coach for us, Elizabeth there. Welcome to the Pride, Elizabeth. Just talked to her today. Exciting. All right, this is our 11-a-side teams on the boys' side. Real top-notch coach on that first team.
Our King, you mean our King?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Go on. Myself on the 10s, Jesse Wheelock on the 10s, Bailey Eller, really stellar group there. Dushan Shakarmas, Kelvin Meisen, and Richard Natividad on the 9s. Very, very good. The 08s, Mark Bickham, Art King, Frank Raymond. And then we jump into the high school age, and we go Matt Wayman, Mark Tomlinson, Peter, and David Salter. So this is a great lineup. Very excited for these coaches. Good people, good coaches.
And that's not all.
And that's not all. The girls' side, we start off with Mark Bickham, Pedro, and Bill Morency on the 10s. Another great lineup. And then we jump into the girls' 09s, Matt Wayman, Neil Megson, Eric Lee. And then our 08s is Jesse Wheelock, Paul McElvaney, Prashil Gounder. 07s, Neil Megson. And then in our 06, our other 06 team, Jacqueline Rigtrup, Chris Barney. And our oldest girls team, Peter Hattrip. That was a lot of coaches to read, but it was kind of exciting to read them all, to be honest with you.
51, if I'm not mistaken.
It's about 51.
Yeah.
Here's our management squad. We have our CEO, Dean Aldridge, new Chief Operations Officer, Rachel Wilton, Jenny Johnson, Operations Coordinator, and the guru behind the scenes, Christy McIver. Myself, Keith Blyer, Matt Wayman, and Jesse Wheelock are the technical leadership team. Really good group of people there. And this is a brand new hire we have. So introducing our new Director of Goalkeeping, Rodney Greeling. Very excited to get Rodney on board. We've been chatting with him a bunch over the last couple weeks. Had him out for some sessions. Keith went through a bunch of ideas with him, and we're really excited to bring Rodney in. And you can see his experience in the goalkeeping area, and then he's played at a pretty high level. So very, very exciting. Welcome, Rodney. Welcome.
He makes me feel short. Wait till you see him. It's a big boy. We're happy to have him.
Here's some of our partners. U.S. Youth Soccer, we play under that umbrella. And then Washington Youth Soccer is our state association. South County Soccer Association is the association for our geographic area. And then our teams in this arena play in either the RCL, Regional Club League, for most of our premier teams, and the North Puget Sound League for our select teams. So these are great leagues with a lot of help keeping things in order and scheduling and whatnot. So Valor Soccer is fast-growing and ambitious competitive youth soccer club. We are constantly assessing the additional leagues or competitions in which our teams might play. We know there are multiple options, and the soccer landscape is always in flux. Our objective is clear. We are striving to rise to the highest level available without sacrificing our developmental philosophies. So,
and I just found my first typo, so I'm not happy.
He's hearing me stutter. Here's some of our real sponsors and our real partners here. Valley Harvest has been a huge sponsor of ours, shirt sponsor. Fantastic people over there. We really appreciate everything they've done for us. We are a Nike brand club, along with soccer.com as our uniform supplier. We have a great relationship with VIO, Sports Connect, Sports Recruits as our new college placement program, the Tacoma Stars, and of course Team Genius with our tryout app that we talk to most of you about on how we do evaluations at tryouts and throughout the year. So thanks to our sponsors. I don't know if we need to switch. There's no camera.
Okay, Ray's making me sit in the big chair. Here's my chance. Here's my opportunity. You only get one shot. Don't want to throw up mom's spaghetti on your shirt. That's an M&M reference. We have 637 viewers. That's pretty good. Now I'm nervous. All right. Good job, Ray. Just go through some of the soccer stuff. Honestly, it's the stuff that Ray and I get the most excited about. We like the uniforms. We like the registration process. Don't get me wrong. But our core values and who we are as soccer people matters a lot to us. It's right on the badge, courage. Okay, so players, ask yourself, are you brave and strong enough to do something hard? Sometimes being brave is just playing the right kind of soccer. Sometimes being brave is putting yourself in a league in which you probably come out of it with a losing record, but you've become a 10 times better soccer player. Integrity. Do you choose what is right before what is fast or easy? It's simple to make the easy decisions. Real integrity comes when you're challenged and you don't take the easy way out. And that's what we do both as soccer players on the field and as people. And then honor. Can you adhere to a high standard and treat all with respect? This is both on and off the field. We will hold a high standard for you as you play, but also as you get out of the car in the parking lot, as you communicate with referees, as you make your way off of the field and run into a stranger. You still have the Valor badge on your chest, and it really matters how you represent yourself. Courage, integrity, and honor are our core values. All right, the Valor way. What's the easiest way to put this? This is one of the few slides I'll read word for word. I think it's important for both players and parents to understand where we come from when we talk about our soccer environment. The goal for the Select and Premier programs, right? We want to provide a positive and supportive performance environment. So mostly catching players doing the right things, supporting them when it's hard. We are far more interested in the individual development of the player. Okay, that is at a higher priority than the results of matches. Yes, we do care more about making better soccer players than winning games. However, it is a competitive program, both of them. We play to win, but we measure success by assessing whether a standard has been met. I talk to my teams all the time. Can you play well and lose? Heck yeah, you can. Can you play poorly or not hit the target in terms of our Valor way and win? Yes, and that's sort of a hollow victory. So it's all about our style of play and our high expectations of sportsmanship. It takes courage and patience, and I'm going to talk to the parents here for a second. It takes patience on the part of the parents. Let us develop the individual player first. Let us keep that in mind, and we're going to utilize a style of soccer that produces a better player, more skilled, more versatile. That, trust me, in the time I've been in this game, leads to the sweetest victories when the kids are a little bit older. They win big matches playing true team soccer. Okay. Important slide there, I think. A little less time on this one. If you're interested in how we structure our training sessions at Valor, and you may roll out to a training session and see something and you're not quite sure what is going on necessarily. Not all of our training sessions, so there are exceptions, but we generally adhere to a play, practice, play model, which means the kids show up, they're into some game. It may not just be a 4v4 game with 2 goals. It could be something different, but it's something where the kids are all involved. They're making decisions because it's fun. It allows them ownership of the game. They have to start making decisions right away. And then we use the practice segment in the middle so that we can do the learning and we can implement what we're working on in that session that day. Every session has a theme. Most of our coaches approach it that way. It also allows for a lot of autonomy, both for our coaches and our players in terms of what they want to work on a given day. And again, it is the fun way to train. That's generally the methodology for training. We're working very, very hard behind the scenes. What we call our TLT, our technical leadership team, myself, Ray, Jesse, and Matt. Not only have we been busy with tryouts, but Jesse and Matt in particular have been working extremely hard to develop all of these. We're soccer geeks, okay? We're just soccer geeks. We care a lot about how our teams play. And here are some basic principles. Again, I'm not going to spend much time on it. But in attack, clearly we want to control the ball. We want to move it quickly. We want to find that open player. When we defend a transition, yes, we want to press, but we want to high press when it makes sense, okay? Defending, we definitely want to pressure the ball. We want to block passing lanes. We want to set the line, right? Where is our line of restraint? How high do our backs play? And then our attacking transition, which I think is a really important piece. Do we want to control the ball and make a pass or two before we go forward? We're going to show you an example in a second. Can we expand and use width? Just some simple concepts. And your coaches will be working with your players more closely on that.
And this is part of the reason coaches come here. I mean, we put a lot of effort into this and a lot of ideas behind it, and we take a lot from the rest of our coaching staff. So it's not just the 4 of us sitting in a room deciding everything. We really put it into practice to see if it makes sense for us to put as part of the Valor way.
Yeah, and we see teams in Valor playing a different type of soccer, and we just ask questions. It's not that's wrong, but here is our idea, and then every coach has a different way of applying it in a match scenario. So let's show you a couple clips. I think that's really important. We didn't do this last year. We're going to do this a lot with our coaches on a regular basis. This is the oldest boys team in our club. This was at Crossfire. Crossfire chooses to play a different way.
We're in gold.
And we're in gold. Of course we're in gold.
Yes.
All right, so watch. This is actually from the opening kickoff of the match, and it's just a sliver, okay? Team playing in a 4-3-3, and I'm not going to break it down entirely, but I'm going to freeze it there, and I'm going to show you the shape that the team has, the width that they've created, the fact that they're just playing the spare man. They're looking to take the ball on the half turn, and now they're getting forward in numbers. Now, there's a poor pass. This player simply plays the way he's facing. Our 9 is asking for the ball there with his arm up. We get a little lucky in getting this through there, but we get it there. Little combination play at the top of the box, and then it eventually breaks down. But an example of a negative pass off kickoff, using width, getting forward in numbers. Look how many players are in the attacking third. You don't see one. He's in the right, on the right of your frame there. But that's a quick example. We won't go into any more detail than that. I'm going to show you one more, and this is from our 06 girls gold team. So we'll have to click to the next slide. Come on, McIver. I thought you could solve everything. Your name's McIver. It's a joke. Our 06 gold team won 10 consecutive matches to end the season, won a state championship and a D2 title. Here they are playing back to their goalkeeper. Poised by our goalkeeper. Passing simply, using width. This is in a 3-5-2. Finding the feet. She's got her back to goal. There's a smudge on the camera, unfortunately. We develop technical players. How about that touch right there? And where should she go from here? This is what I call doubling it, right? So you found width on both sides of the field, a diagonal run to a straight ball. This is what we call a box cross, and their keeper was excellent. She kept that scoreless that day. All right, so just a couple ideas, a couple examples of the Valor way. And you don't have to see it again. We'll run out of time. So we have the development phases here, and these have been developed by Jesse and Matt. I'll take full credit. Just kidding. The discovery phase. If you're, yeah, go ahead.
We'll each take half.
Yes. Ray gets 49. I get 49. Matt gets 1. Yeah. And Jesse gets 1. Our discovery phase, having fun, period. And 70% of it is technical.
kids on the ball, making decisions, playing some games. But again, you can take a screenshot of these if you'd like. We're going to send this entire presentation in PDF form to all parents so they know what's going on. The next phase after the U8 to U10 and a 7v7 is what we call the foundational phase, where now we're starting to really make the player. We're going from just having fun to making the player. A lot of 1v1 up to 3v3 stuff. Again, frequent technical activities, both unopposed and opposed. And you're taught how to attack and defend as a unit, read the game, and this is where we start to install some of our principles of play. Then it gets even more fun. If you ask me, we move on to the developmental phase, which is our first 11v11 band, U13 to U15. Energetic training sessions, a little less technical, and now we're starting to work a little bit more on team tactics. Very important that we develop both feet. It frustrates me to watch players come out of the club environment with absolutely no confidence on that non-preferred foot. But we start to implement the Valor style of play. The transitional moments, and then the demands of a role. Matt Wayman's been working on our positional profiles, and you'll get those. They're really cool. It tells a player exactly what his or her demands are as a 4, as an 8, as a 7, so on and so forth. Then the last phase is the performance phase, which is competing together. There's no doubt that the older you get, the more competitive you are. We also start to address, as you can see, some physical things. There will be some fitness work and also, education about lifestyle choices. Accountability is a big one. Let's be honest. The older they get, the harder it is to get them to training for some legitimate and some not so legitimate reasons. So we ask them to make the proper choices and become fluent in the Valor style of play. We also, at this band, now ask them to play various formations so that when they get to college, they can play a 3-5-2 or a 4-2-2 or a 4-2-4, or my favorite formation, a 1-1-1-8. Yeah. That's what I played in 1925.
Right after that game of Pitfall.
Right. All right. The Valor pathway also includes mandated formations. This is important for parents, okay? Nearly all times in our matches. Why? Consistency and familiarity for the player. Also, we believe they're the best suited formations for our principles and style of play. As you can see, once you get to U16, we give coaches autonomy. There are moments in matches where you vary from the formation, but very rarely. So take a look at these. In 7v7, we play a 1-3-1-2.
Yeah, another part of this that's really big for us is for us to teach coaches and put things in writing and show on the video. We need to make sure people are starting in the same formation. We need to make sure that they understand that there's 3 in the back in this idea. So it's really huge for us as we build our curriculum to make sure that all the coaching staff understands the language.
And the scaffolding that takes place, if you see moving from a 1-3-1-2 to a 1-3-2-3, all you're doing is adding a second midfielder and a central forward. You still have your 3 in the back. You still have all the triangles that you need. You still have players that can release to width, so on and so forth. Developmental phase, and shoot, right? This might change. I mean, in 2 years, we might go away from a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
We changed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so, it's always fluid. But as of right now, we ask our teams in that first 11v11 band to play a 1-4-3-3 with 2 attacking midfielders. And again, up for debate. We're happy to have it with you. But for now, that's what it is. Okay. I got the fun part, Ray.
I know. I get all the really fun part.
Okay. All right. We got to go through some logistics here. So this is where kids can maybe scroll 1 or 2 TikTok videos. Parents must pay attention.
Okay, parents. All right, here's the registration process. We try to put it in here. If you've already got registered, thank you. Congratulations. We are excited that we don't have to show you this, but we know it can be a little bit tricky, so we do want to show you how to do the player registration piece. So once you log in with your username and password, you're going to want to click here where it says to get to the Valor Soccer. Then accept. Then you'll click accept the position, and yeah, there we go. Accept or decline the position. So you're going to accept the position. Navigate to the participant section of your Sports Connect account. Click the accept or decline position button to proceed to policies and contract. Once you have read the contract, choose yes and click the continue button to proceed to registration. So generally, once you put your birth year in, it'll show you everything that's available to you. Okay? All right. If you have questions about registration, please email registrar@valorsoccer.com. Jenny will work through it with you. She is very good. All right, club dues. Premier U8-U10, $14.95. U11-U12, $17.85. U13-U19, $24.75. On the select side, U11-U12, $10.50. U13-U19, $12.40. And you can read below what all these dues go to. Like we said, we're going to email this out to you. There's a couple things that our high school age teams get that some of our youngers don't get till a little bit later, including our college placement program, our sports recruits access, and the VO system. And these are for the Premier program. This is part of those dues and why they're at the level they're at. Oh, sorry. Keith's trying to distract Christy over here. We have some options for your payments. You can pay in full, and you only get charged 75 cents. So,
wow, 75 cents for the whole year. Oh, no, I get it. The service fee. Oh,
okay. 75-cent service fee, folks. We should have put that one in bold. All right, payment plan. You can see if you jumping on the payment plan, it's 8 monthly installments starting with your registration amount of $325 or $190 for select, and then 8 payments July through February coming out on the 10th. Service fees here as well, as you can see below. Team fees. Team fees are those in addition to club dues, and they vary. These team fees are calculated by the team manager or team treasurer. Examples for the tournament fees. We do not have a line item in our club dues for tournaments, so tournament fees are a team fee. Travel expenses for team members, travel expenses for coaches, travel expenses for chaperones, team building activities, parties, additional team equipment purchases. So for any of the premier teams or select teams that are going to travel outside the state, we have a travel policy that we have put together to help you guide your way through that, including what the team needs to cover from a Valor standpoint, okay? And we will be sharing all these policies with you as we get rolling here. And Valerie, our team manager, boss lady, will be giving a team manager meeting to help identify some of these things, okay? Let's see, what else is on this slide? Team coaches and managers are strongly encouraged to communicate and gain approval from club's management and team management before committing to any events. So yeah, if your team's going to do something that's a big deal or outside the state, it should have director approval before you do that, okay? We're good. Is there another slide for fundraisers, or should I set it on there? Okay, another one. All right. Financial aid. Valor Soccer is dedicated to providing players of all economic backgrounds with the opportunity to play soccer. Okay, financial aid applications will be completed through Sports Connect. There's a certain time frame and a certain window we open financial aids. And you need to get inside that window if you're looking for it, okay? Once it closes, we collect everything, and the board of Valor goes through on kind of a blind way of reading through financial aids to read who is eligible, okay? I think that's good enough. Yeah. All right, volunteer hours. Each Premier and Select family is obligated to serve 8 hours of volunteer time over the course of playing cycle. The volunteer opportunities include tasks that support Valor as a whole, such as setup on game days, assistance at club events, administrative support. These are volunteer things that help the club out. If you volunteer to drive kids in a carpool around for practices, those don't count as volunteer hours. That's just being a good human being to your teammates, okay? So these are items, and we have hundreds and hundreds of hours that we look for throughout the year. So there is no shortage. I think last year maybe we filled 45% of our volunteer hours that we offered. So there's plenty out there. Okay. At the time of registration, though, if you are super busy like Keith Blyer, okay, he would just opt right out. throws $150 out and say, it's easy. I'm out of here. I don't have time to volunteer. I will do what I can when I'm available, but I don't want to be stuck in this 8-hour thing. So I'm just going to pay right now. If you choose not to opt out and you don't complete your volunteer hours, then you'll be charged $200. Okay. So if you think you're not going to get there, pay it. Or if you don't want to do it, pay it. It's simple. And then we can hire somebody when we need help to help us out at North Green River Park or setting up tents. And we have to bring in some students and we pay them, a couple bucks an hour to work for us. This is what that covers. Okay. So initial deadline for 2004 to 2007, December 4th. We're trying to have all of your hours done so that we don't, that's when we would bill you. Yeah.
That's for high school boys.
High school boys. And then the rest of the age groups is February 5th. The high school boys season ends a little earlier than everybody else. Yeah. And then if you don't get it by December 4th, then we have a little grace period where we'll give you your money back if you jump on it then. Okay? These slides are coming to you. And if you have questions about volunteering, reach out to Cam Briggs. Here's some opportunities in the club. If you sign up to be a head coach, 8 hours for sure. Assistant coach, up to 8 hours. So if you are a head coach and you bring on 8 assistant coaches to help you, they each get 1 hour, not 8 hours each. Team manager, you will work 9 hours during the year. So we give you 8. I'm kidding. You will work a lot more than that. So we definitely give you 8 hours for that, and our team treasurers as well. Photographer, you can get up to 8 hours there too. The photographer position is on an approval basis. We don't want what? I'm getting yelled at. I'm trying to read in case I'm in trouble. Oh, yeah. All the positions are approved by the club. But we don't just sign up for a photographer and then send us 6 pictures of your kid playing. Okay, we'll work with you on that. We want photographers. We love our pictures. You can see one on the right there. But every position is approved by the club. And then once we approve it and say, yes, you can do it, you have 14 days to sign up in one of these roles to get all your safety training, background check, all those things done. Okay, if you don't get them done, we don't give you any hours. So fundraising. I knew it was on here. All right. Valor Day. This is a really, really fun thing that we do here. Every year we take a day to celebrate all of our families and our coaches and our Valor pride. And we just have this thing called Valor Day. We've done it down at North Green River Park. And it's really fun. It's free. We set up some games. We do like a carnival type thing. The kids love it. Some of them are coming straight from their games. Weather wasn't perfect this year. And then we ask for Valor Day that we ask each Premier and Select team that they're required to provide 1 gift basket that's worth $100, okay, and 2 desserts. And then we do an auction. We do an auction to raise money for our scholarship and financial aid programs, okay? And it's a great day, and it's really fun. And we had some amazing things donated last year. Stefan Fry autographed gloves, really cool. Some airline tickets, some Seahawk tickets. It was a really good time. So look forward to that. September 11th. That should be an easy one to remember. Yeah, so there we go. Valor Day. KB's turn again.
All righty.
Been waiting. He wanted to do the uniforms.
Yep, I still love that. I still love that purple goalkeeper kit. I'm telling you, sharp. I like it all. The vertical black and gold or black and yellow, it's controversial, and controversial is good. And we know our Valor players when we see our Valor players. Okay, we're actually on time, so this isn't too bad. And thanks, guys, for hanging in. I know that some of you are like, can you just please tell us what tournaments we're playing in this summer and what our calendar's like? And we will. We kept that to the end. You see what we did there? All right, so this is just for new players. just for new players. We have another cycle, another year left remaining on these current kits. You can see there's a different price for the younger players than there is for the older players, because there are fewer mandatory or required items, and obviously there's some optional items for everybody as well. Numbers are assigned by the club. That's important, and somebody much smarter than myself figured out that if we have the even birth year players have even numbers and the odd birth year players have odd numbers, they can guest play on older teams without using any adhesive tape, if you know what I mean. Contact the club office, cam.briggs@Valor Soccer, and if you need to order a uniform, if you're a new player, and we will work with you as quickly as possible, because we need to order it as soon as you can. You know, delivery delays these days.
And Cam will send it.
Okay.
Generally, a new player, once the registration's all done and the roster's built, Cam will send you an invite to go to the store and buy stuff.
So we'll let you know.
Expect that in a couple week or so. If you have any questions after June starts, then email Cam. You may get your stuff before then.
Okay. And you should get notification that you're going to need a uniform. I think most of you who know you already have one know that you're good. All right, we have a number of policies at Valor Soccer. We're trying to be as professional and organized as possible. The most important policy that we probably have, the most discussed, the most applied, is our playing time policy. And it's very simple. Any player in the Select and Premier program who's in good standing, and I'll address that in a second, is guaranteed a minimum of 20 minutes of playing time in each league, tournament, or cup match. So that's every match. Doesn't mean you start. You may not start 4 or 5 or 6 matches in a row. Doesn't mean that you're going to play the final 20 minutes of the match. Doesn't mean that you're going to play 20 minutes in a row. That is a minimum. I think most of our coaches strive to get players more than 20 minutes if they are in good standing. How are you in good standing? Won't get into too many details, but the first one that we need to say, that I've found myself saying to a number of players, for example, who have graduated from our Select to our Premier programs, because they have 3 training sessions a week. Our Premier teams do. And I said over and over again, I want the coaches to hear this, and we'll mention it to them again, and I want all of our parents to understand this. We understand you're busy. We know we encourage participation in other sports, and we always put our academics first. So if for any reason you have to miss one of those 3 training sessions as a Premier player, that's okay, as long as it's communicated and ahead of time. Any Premier player who attends just 2 training sessions out of the 3 in a week, you are considered to be in good standing, unless there's some other issues. The other issues are coming back from injury, disciplinary problems, attitude, so on and so forth. We have these policies in written form. We can make those available to you. We also have a policy in how we want parents to address playing time issues. And I guess I would just say very quickly, do not address playing time issues with a coach at the field after that match is concluded. In fact, wait until the next day and then decide if it's worth bringing up via email or phone call. We have other club policies as well. We're very clear on what we do with severe weather. Who knows how much smoke we're going to have this summer or how cold it's going to get in the winter. We also communicate to our coaches when they should train or cancel training sessions. If a team plays in a tournament and they've got 4 demanding matches, we generally allow cancellation of training sessions the next week, at least 1, maybe 2 sometimes. And then, of course, we're constantly monitoring the COVID thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, with the severe weather and the smoke stuff, generally we try to get something out the day of trainings by
3 o'clock at the well. Okay, yeah, that's funny. Ray says 1. I say 3.
Waiting to see if he was going to go first.
No, Ray tells me at 1, and I try to get it out by 3. But yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Most teams normally train at 5, and thank goodness for technology. So. All right, we have a number of player resources available. I think more than the average club, even some of the biggest clubs in the Seattle area. We're very proud of our Team Genius partnership, which we use to evaluate players at tryouts over the last few weeks. But it's also a wonderful tool to create player evaluations. And this is Josie Champera's moment in the sun. But that's an example of a yearly evaluation that she receives from her coach in a very interactive and clean-looking format, both on your phone and on your computer, assessing her various areas. We've also got other tools or other resources, such as our soccer nutrition packet, which is more for older players. And it's kind of a nice thing to scroll through as a parent. Contact me directly if you'd like that. And that's just a couple examples of the resources we have. One of the most exciting things that I get to announce tonight is our new partnership with Sports Recruits. This is for our players who want to move to the next level, and we hope many of you do, whether you're 9 years old or 17 years old. Our college placement program is growing. We want to see more and more players every year get to the next level, and Sports Recruits is a phenomenal organization. You've probably heard of maybe you've heard of things like College Fit Finder or NCSA or NSR. I did a lot of research, and I felt this was the best one. And thankfully, the big boss Aldridge and Ray have said, let's go for it. So every premier player on our older teams will be offered this service in full. More information is coming next month. You can kind of see what you can do, but every contact for all college soccer programs in the country is in there. You can build your profile, which is kind of scrolling on the right. You can log how you communicate with coaches. We can create really professional rosters that we hand out at showcase events. You can search various schools, and you can post as much video of yourself and all of your information as you would like. So there's more coming for our older premier players in the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's going to be great. In regards to our college placement program, we do quarterly webinars or newsletters. There's a checklist that's available to you. You can actually find that on the website right now. And the VO camera system, you saw those 2 clips, the automated elevated camera. We record many of our older teams' matches. Not only do you get to now watch your matches back for analysis reasons, but kids can go in there and clip their own highlights and create reels. So we're also looking to, even expand our reach with our VO camera system. So that's been really popular over the last year. And what it leads to ultimately are players like this. And I want to congratulate Olivia Borman and Desiree Cervantes. They're the 2 newest additions. Desiree is going to play for Go Gators, Green River College. Olivia Borman's off to George Fox. There are 2 boys that have just graduated or about to graduate that are making decisions. I texted them today, what's up? And they said still deciding, but something's going to happen there. We've got Johnny at George Fox. Emma Rutledge started at Bellevue College, but is moving on to Go Gators, Green River College. And then our first couple of years of Valor, even through COVID, kids were placed, like Brandon Day at D2 Northwest Nazarene, so on and so forth. And that's really what it's all about, is that player development piece. Not everybody has to end up playing college soccer, but we're far more proud of those things than a random victory on a Saturday, although those feel pretty good too. Okay, so this is where you might want to, grab the camera and just take a picture of this. But again, we'll send this to you via PDF form through your coach in the next 24 to 48 hours. Here are the schedules, and these are pretty generic, pretty macro. But you can see our U8 to U14 teams. We're starting. Actually, a couple of our youngest teams started this week. But training starts basically next week, runs through the summer. We'll play in tournaments. A list of those coming in a second. Here are the summer breaks. I know those are important to you. June 28th to July 4th, so up to and through July 4th. And then that weekend up to and through Labor Day. Then teams play fall WYS league play. Usually runs from September to middle December. It really depends on the league you're in, the division, the age. We take a big, fat holiday break, as we should, from December 19th to January 1st. And then these teams train through the winter and are involved in league and cup play. Depends on your level. Maybe a winter tournament entry or 2, mostly for our premier teams there. Spring break is a tough one. We've determined that it's best to handle that on a team-by-team basis, because we don't know where you are in your cup competition. You might have a certain amount of players that go to one school in which their spring break falls on one week, and there's never any perfect place. but we do give each team a full week during spring break off. And then spring training, which takes you through other competitions. Again, it's the winter and the spring are kind of very malleable when it comes to these two age groups. And then we get around to tryouts in mid-May. That's U8 to U14. Now, the boys and the girls on the older age groups are different, right, because of high school soccer primarily. So I'll just basically say here that training starts for the boys 2 weeks ago. They've already been back a little bit, but we have the same summer breaks. They play in the fall. Holiday break is basically the same. Here's an important point. Premier teams during Thanksgiving week, this applies to the younger teams too. Premier teams do train once, early Thanksgiving week, and then the rest of the week off. Select teams have the entire Thanksgiving week off. We try to put our older teams in some showcase events, premier teams, that is. Those can be local, like the Pac Northwest Winter Classic is one, Timbers Alliance down in Portland, but there is potential travel to tournaments on the West Coast or in Arizona. And then you've got winter training when you come back from your high school season. State Cup. So then the high school soccer starts in March. Yep. So you basically run pretty consistently aside from the breaks from summer through the beginning of the year, and then we release you fully. And the tryouts actually happen before your high school soccer season. That's an important point. Most of you guys know that, though, I think. Girls, just kind of the mirror image of that. Basically, they start next week. Tournaments, summer training. They take that break right before July 4th. And then off they go in mid-August, late August, to high school soccer. We should say that there are those, what we call those trapped players, kids who are in this age band, but only in 8th grade. Where do they play if they're a high school girl in the fall? And where do they play if they're a high school boy in the spring? There is what we call a trapped league in Washington U Soccer. It's a mixed team of a number of players from different teams in our club, and they play in a Washington U Soccer league. Then after high school soccer, you come back to us, and there is a winter league through Washington U Soccer for most of these teams, and potential showcase events for our premier team during the winter, spring break again on a team-by-team basis, and then there's Washington U Soccer Cup play for the girls. The Cup actually starts pretty late and goes real fast. It's early April through middle May. Yep. And then the tryouts, that's a little bit of a typo there. Tryouts for older girls are basically in the same area as the younger teams, which is in the middle of May. All right, so basically the last slide. Congratulations. Here is a list, and it is just a list. I want you to read the black balloon first. Your team's head coach will announce specific plans soon. Additional winter and spring events could be added for premier teams, but we have decided we try to be as consistent as possible on these tournaments for these various programs and levels. So for our gold teams, our younger gold teams, there's a jamboree on June 11th and 12th. It's only a one-day jamboree. I think it's the younger kids on Saturday and the older ones on Sunday. Jesse Wheelock will have more information for you on that, but that's up in Bellingham. And then we want our gold teams to play in the Rainier Challenge in Puyallup. We want our gold teams to play in the Crossfire Challenge in Redmond. You can see that there are different dates, girls and boys, and then ages for the Crossfire. We would like to take as many teams as possible to San Diego. Did you hear that, kids? Cali, August 5th through the 7th. It's called the SoCal Cup. Now, not every team's going to go, so I don't want to dash any dreams here.
Probably won't have the U8s there.
Yeah, the younger teams less likely for sure. We'll get more information to you on that, and we'll have a replacement tournament for those age groups if you don't go to California. Black teams, again, that jamboree for the younger ones. And then you can choose. You can choose from events. This has a lot to do with coaches' accessibility and also the level where you feel you fit best. But there are a couple options in June. There they are. A couple options, actually 3 options to choose from in July, including our own Cornucopia Cup in Kent.
And that cornucopia is probably for our younger teams at the black level, probably not our older black premier teams.
Yep. But all our select teams will play in that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All the select teams will play in that July 15th to 17th Valor Cornucopia Cup. Then there'll be a tournament in the August period for the black teams as well. A bunch to choose from there, a couple locals and a couple Portland options. Premier Gray, White, or Select summer tournaments you can see there. One comes pretty quickly. It's that Starfire Spring Classic, June 10 to 12. Or you could choose the Skagit Firecracker. And then you got the Cornucopia Cup for sure. And then 2 choices in August.
Yeah, and the River Jam's been really good. Really fun right there in Puyallup. Good tournament. Yeah, so either one's good, but we've had some good success up there.
And what I would say, too, is this is ultimately the head coach's decision. If he wants to take a poll of what you guys would prefer, that's very nice of him or her. If she decides that she needs to make these decisions unilaterally, they're for good reasons, and we support the coach. So your coach will let you know which events you are in. He or she will do that probably in the next week or so, if not in the next 25 minutes. And again, you guys are busy. You're doing things in the summer. If you go 12 for 12 in matches as a player in the summer tournaments season, great. But we can't promise that it's going to be perfect for everybody. That's impossible, isn't it? Okay, that is it. And we're actually 7 minutes ahead of time. Look at the email addresses on the left. Ray, myself, and some generic boxes that are monitored on a daily basis. What happens next? There are a couple things, and then I'll give Ray the last word here. If I forget something, what happens next? Number one, make sure you complete the registration process as soon as possible. Number two, your head coach, if he or she has not already reached out with a very brief email saying, hey, here's our team, here's who I am, here's my contact information, here's when I think we're going to have our breakout meeting, that should have already happened. So press us if you haven't heard anything yet. I know a couple teams, not many, but a couple teams are actually having their formation meeting immediately after this one. And then be prepared to start training next week. There will be no training on Monday. That's Memorial Day. Tuesday, a very light schedule because we're having a big coaches meeting on Tuesday night. So most teams will get going Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And then I just want to say thanks to all of you. Parents are great during tryouts. Extreme close-up. Wayne's World, party time. Excellent. Nobody knows what that is either.
Still.
Yeah. But thanks to everybody. I mean, not only the parents and the players, but, Christy is literally sitting on the floor down here.
We got Valerie McHenry in here. She's been helping us behind the scenes, making sure I don't say anything too stupid. So if I did, it was her fault. No, but we're super grateful for everybody's time. We got a lot of people on this. We really want to try to give you as much information as we can. We are available. So if you have questions, please reach out. We're all pretty responsive. If you don't get an answer right away, ping us again for sure. And we're excited to get the year started. We thought last year was really fun. We know this year's going to be amazing. So we're very excited.
Yeah, there will be we'll send you a link of the video and the PDFs of this presentation. They'll come through your coach. Give us a day or two to get that to you. So thank you to the nearly 700 people who were on this call at one point tonight.
It's amazing.
The minute my face popped up, it dropped to 12.
Right. They said they got the email address for you and I and bailed. They've been waiting. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. And as you can see from you can't see it now, but we can see the screen still. We are Valor, and we are excited to be here. Thank you, guys.